Hello everybody, what we are looking at today is substitution. So by the end of this session, hopefully we'll be able to substitute values to evaluate an algebraic expression. So the word substitute is something that you guys may or may not be familiar with. So if we think back to when we're at school and we have a substitute teacher, that substitute teacher is replacing that teacher or your teacher for that day. So when we're talking about substituting, we're talking about replacing, all right, a number or a letter with another number or another letter. So by the end of this session, we are going to be able to substitute values, substitute numbers into an expression. And remember, an expression is a lot of numbers, letters, plus signs, minus signs, times, divide, all put together. Okay, so to evaluate an expression or to substitute an expression is where we are replacing each pronumeral in the expression with a number. So each pronumeral, remember pronumerals mean your letters, your A, B, C, X, Y, whatever letter they want to use, they can use, but we're replacing that letter with a number. So an example is here. So if I tell you that the letter A represents 3 and the letter B represents 4, we want to evaluate the expression 7A plus 2B plus 5. What that means is we have here a 7A. So we know that A is 3, and when we write a number and a letter together, we need to remember that there is an invisible time sign between the two, okay? So we're going to write it like this. We're going to go 7 times A, which is 3, plus 2 times, there's an invisible time sign, B, we know B is 4, plus 5. So what I have done is I've substituted all of my letters or all of my pronumerals with the number that they represent, okay? And then I figure it out. 7 times 3 we know is 21, plus 2 times 4 we know is 8, plus 5, okay? And then 21 plus 8 we know is 29. 29 plus 5 is 34. And that is my answer. All right, so being able to evaluate an expression or answer an expression, the way that we do it is we substitute or we replace the pronumerals with the number that we've been given. Okay, what I can do is I can give you one expression and I can give you another expression and I can ask you whether they are equivalent or not. And what that means, that word equivalent, means if they are equal. And in remembering this, we need to remember things like, if I say to you AB and I say to you BA, all right, remember there's a multiplication sign in between those. So we're going to say these two expressions are equal, okay? Because if we were to say that they're numbers, so I say A is 3, okay? 3 times B, B was 4, is going to be the same as 4 times 3, okay? So when we're timesing together, our expressions are equal. And when we're adding, if I go A plus B, is that the same as B plus A? Yes, it is, because 3 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 3. This only works with multiplication and addition. If it's division or subtraction, it will not work. So only for multiplication and for addition. All right, we're going to go through another example of substituting. So in this case, we've got substitute x equals 3 and y equals 6. Remember, they can use any letters they want as long as they tell you what it represents to evaluate the following expressions. So our first expression is 5x. So remember, if I've got a number and a letter, there's an invisible time sign. So I'm just going to do 5 times x. X is 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, so that one was an easy one. We can go one step further where we're breaking it down into two parts. So here I've got 2 times x. So I've got 2 times x is 3 plus 3 times y. My y is 6. Okay, so remember in BODMAS you do the multiplications first. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 6 plus 18 is 24. All right. We are familiar with this sort of stuff. What we haven't worked a lot on yet is when we're adding squares into the equation, okay? So in this case here, we're going to break it down into our 3 parts. So 5 times x is 3 squared, plus 2 times y was 6, so it's 2 times 6, plus x again, x is 3, okay? And I break it down. So 3 squared is 9, 9 times 5 is 45, plus 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3, 45 plus 12 plus 3 is 60, and that is my answer. So this is basically how we substitute our values into an expression.